excited. I think this is day 5. I have to count it up. So I'm doing 365 lives, and I know a lot of people are doing that right now. But I'm excited about it. So today we are talking about 2 ways that your social media feed, and I'm thinking Facebook and Instagram and my YouTube, operate like law of attraction, which is a really great way to kind of get the concept down, to like really know it in your bones. So let's talk about that, and then I also want to expose one thing about my shadow in direct relation with law of attraction. And my name is Carla, and this is the first time you're catching me live. Drop replay below so I know, and just let me know if you have any questions in the comments below as well. I am a life purpose alignment coach, and I'm more so talking about alignment and life purpose over here, but I also have a fitness channel. So if you're from my fitness channel, the two kind of operate hand in hand. Anyways, so let's talk about law of attraction and basically how your social media feed, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube operates this way too, is a lot like the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is everywhere. It happens even when you're not conscious of it, right? And there's one reason why I don't talk about it a lot, even though I know a lot about it, because I can notice it. I'm really good at noticing it in the environment. But law of attraction basically works like this. When you see something in your social media feed and you interact with it and you like it and you comment on it and you go back and you comment on it again, you're going to see more of it in your feed. Have you ever noticed that? That is a lot like how life works. When you engage with stuff in your life, you see it more and more and more. Sometimes you're not even on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and you're actually on Amazon shopping. And if you buy something, you're going to come over to Facebook and it's going to be an ad for it over there, or you're going to see something in your Facebook feed about it. And your social media feed picks up on those things that you show interest in, whether it's positive or negative. You might hit the angry. You might be angry at something on your social media feed, and you're just going to see more and more from that person. And the opposite is also true. So this is the second thing, how your social media feed operates a lot like law of attraction. If you see something in your feed and you don't pay attention to it, like say you see my live and you see it, you're like, damn girl, and you ignore it, you're going to see less and less of it, right? That is a lot like how law of attraction works. And sometimes we use it and we don't know that that's always in operation. It's just something that kind of happens. But what's bigger than that is that you have these natural habits, these natural tendencies that kind of draw things to you and naturally pull things away from you. And the reason why I don't talk about law of attraction often is because I feel like it kind of leaves out some things. So part of my shadow is that I grew up for years and years and years being afraid to talk about negative things. I was afraid to expose things about myself that I thought people wouldn't like. And I got into the tendency of not talking about things that were bad. And I only wanted for people to see the side of me that was good. And I often felt really far removed from everyone around me. And I would be expressing and I'd look happy, and I was happy, but at the same time I had these feelings and fears about things that nobody ever verbalized, and it made me feel really far away from everything. It made me feel really alone, especially when I was going through times that were really hard, especially when I was going through times that were really hard in my family. And I saw things going on around me that I didn't think anybody else was experiencing. And so that's why sometimes, even though I know that law of attraction is, oh, if you talk about it, I still will say stuff. I will still talk about things that are going on in the news. I will talk about racial injustice. I will talk about negative emotions. I will express my feelings the way I desire to express my feelings. And I'm not afraid of that. So that's the other part of my shadow, that once you incorporate that, and once you can see your shadow and all the harm that it causes, and you can integrate it, you also can know that you're bigger than any one aspect of your shadow, right? Because your shadow is just an aspect of you. Just like all of the parts of you that people applaud and we illuminate, that's an aspect of you. And the totality of you is bigger than both of those. We're multidimensional. So you never have to be afraid of expressing a negative emotion. You never have to be afraid of saying what it is you want to say. Because even though the law of attraction is something that, as you engage in it, The other thing is this: when you know that you're bigger than any one thing that ever happens to you, and you're greater than those things, you also can see that the fullness of life encompasses all of that. It doesn't make you weaker, it makes you stronger to not be afraid of what happens, what comes in your path, when you know you can handle it and you know that something that's bad isn't always bad, if you can think about it. That's why we say hindsight is 20/20. Sometimes bad things happen to you and it ultimately turns out to be good, right? I lost my job once before and it seemed bad, but it turned out to be really good for me. And that's just one reason why I am never afraid to talk about the things that are bad. I know that I'm so much bigger than anything that happens to me. And once you know that, you don't have to be afraid of anything. You can express yourself and you say whatever it is you want to say when you want to say it, and know that that is healthy because it does not doom your fate or anything like that. So I always see people who don't talk about negative things as weak, because it is weak. If you can't talk about things that are going on, because it is what it is, and you're not afraid, if you're afraid to talk about it, then, or if you think something's bad going to happen to you if you say something honest, then that is weak. All right, so that is it. Hopefully that's helpful for you. And if not, like I said, the only way to win all the time is to just be fully authentic and fully expressed. And actually, the thing about my shadow I also wanted to share was the only reason I could tell that I started to know that that was really inauthentic to not be expressed, good, bad, indifferent, was that I started to attract people into my world that would talk about the bad things. And I loved it. And I'm like, damn, I need to be like them, okay? And I loved it, and it woke me up, and it made me feel like I'm not alone in the world. And I hope that that is really at the heart of my mission. I show up authentically because I want people to know you're not alone in the world. And it's so important to express because there are other people like you out there that literally are surrounded by people who are inauthentic and they just want to see something real. And so I allow that. And that's who I attract. All right, so I'm out of here. Have an amazing weekend. Use that law of attraction in your favor, okay? And don't be afraid of anything. Everything always works out for you. When you believe that, you don't have to be afraid of anything.